Hey everyone, it's Jasmine here with discussion question number 3, and I'm going to share with you the well-known person that I decided to research. And I have tried to make this video like literally 5 or 6 different times, trying to memorize the whole story, and I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna keep his biography right here in front of me and just trying to go back and forth, because if not, I will be here all night trying to touch every point. But anyway, the person that I decided to research is one of my favorite filmmakers, and I have been following him for years, and it's just been amazing to see how his work has developed and blossomed over the last 10 plus years. And this person is Tyler Perry. And if you're not familiar with Tyler Perry, the name Tyler Perry, you're probably very familiar with his works. But Tyler Perry is an African-American actor, playwright, and filmmaker, and he is the mastermind behind all of the Madea movies. In fact, Tyler Perry is the one who plays Madea. And if that doesn't ring a bell, just Google it. Maybe the images, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see. But anyway, I'm not inspired by Tyler Perry because he's an awesome filmmaker and actor. I'm inspired by him because of his story. And, you know, I love the whole rags to riches stories. I love, you know, listening to people, how they came from the bottom and worked their way to the top, how they came from nothing and became something. His story is right up that alley. And, you know, when you hear the whole rags to riches story, you think, oh, that's so cliche. But his story is just inspiring because he stands by, you know, believing in your dreams and going after something as long as it takes to get it, and to endure the process and the seasons that life takes you on in order to get to your destiny. And it's just phenomenal to hear him talk about and how he encourages other people to go after their dreams, because yes, it doesn't come right away, but it's something that if you truly believe in your dreams, that you can make it happen with your hard work, your determination. And another ingredient to his success story was his faith. He truly believes that his journey, his success is truly a product of the grace of God. And you know, I believe that too. So anyway, so let's start talking about his childhood. Tyler Perry grew up in poverty. And not only did he grow up in poverty, but he also grew up in a household of abuse. He was abused by his father, both physically and sexually. And that he suffered for years through this abuse from his father. He even made the comment that his father was the type of man that his answer to everything was to just beat it out of you. And that's just, you know, that's just a sickening and scary thought, that, you know, this was the man who raised him, like, that he treated him like this. But anyway, because he suffered so much from this abuse, that when he was 16 years old, he even tried to commit suicide just to escape from all of the trauma that he had built in as a child. So as his way of coping, as his way of escaping his traumatic childhood, he first changed his first name because he did not want any connection to his father. And so he changed his name from Emmett to Tyler. So he became Emmett. He started as Emmett Perry Jr. and he became Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry even he dropped out of high school and he obtained his GED. So this amazing, successful business and entertainment man is operating off of a GED. So that's another thing you can take, you know, to encourage clients. You know, just because, you know, you didn't finish this path doesn't mean your life is over. You can do a lot. All right, so trying to find his way in his professional field, he acquired several jobs that he considered unfulfilling. So I'm assuming little side hustle jobs. You know, maybe he was working, it doesn't say specifically where he was working at, but, you know, maybe fast food, maybe retail, maybe selling newspapers. I don't know, but he specifically described them as unfulfilling jobs. So until he got to the job that he wanted to get to, he had to, you know, maintain these little side hustles to make sure, you know, ends were met. until he was able to find and discover his true passion. And that leads to one day he was watching the Oprah Winfrey Show. And side note, now that he's where he's at, him and Oprah are very, very close. And there's different videos and articles and interviews showing their bond and their friendship. But as he was an up-and-coming person or professional, he was watching the Oprah Winfrey Show. So they didn't know each other, but this was more so an icon just trying to get advice. And it says that he was inspired by a comment by her that she stated that writing about difficult experiences could lead to personal breakthroughs. And when he thought about it, he knew he had all of this hurt and this anger and trauma built up within him that he needed to release towards his father. And so he began to write to himself, actually. He started to write a series of letters to himself, which eventually became the starting point of him writing his first musical called I Know I've Been Changed. And so writing and releasing his feelings and his hurt towards his father and his childhood and his past began the steps to discovering his passion for stage writing. And so over a course of time, he saved all the money that he could, which totaled $12,000. He said he saved tax returns, any coins from his paychecks, whatever he could get, he saved it, and it came up to $12,000. And he debuted his show of his play, I Know I've Been Changed. And he directed it, he produced it, and he even starred in it. And this was in 1992 in Atlanta. And it says that the musical's run lasted only 1 weekend. And guess how many people that showed up? 30. Yes, he didn't even sell out the theater, nothing. He sold 30 tickets, 30 people showed up. And you think how devastated and disappointed he was. He saved all the money he could, and he put his blood, sweat, tears into this show, and all of 30 people showed up. And so, however, what he could have used as a disappointment, he used it as motivation and drive to keep on going. So he kept on continuing to work his little side hustle jobs while he reworked his show and his play. So he took what he learned from his first performance, he kept adding and tweaking and adding and tweaking. And over a course, I want to say, he said 5 to 6 years, he kept on and kept on and kept on trying to produce that show. And every time, little to no one would show up. Again, he could have gave up. He could have just said, you know, this isn't for me. I'm just, I'm going to be a retail worker. I'm going to, work at fast food. But he didn't. He kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. And despite all his letdowns and disappointments of his show not selling out, finally in 1998, he tried one more time. All right, from 1992 to 1998, he tried one more time. And he rented out the House of Blues in Atlanta for another production. And that night was a game changer for him, because after that night, every time he performed that show, he would sell out the theaters, and eventually leading him to have to move and to perform in a larger theater. And so he, after many years of working and hustling, he finally earned a critical acclaim as well as commercial success. So he pretty much kind of merged his way into the entertainment business, and leading him, a long story short, over this amount of 10 years. Oh, and let me go back. Even while he was still trying to produce this first play, he became homeless and he was living out of his car. But still, he used that as drive to say, there's something more to this. There's more that I can do. And I truly believe it was his faith is what pushed him to keep on going and not giving up. So long story short, like I said, over a course of 10 years, from starting with nobody coming to his first play, he has now produced and starred in 19 stage plays, 8 TV series and 20 movies. He even has his own production studio and business, which is just amazing. And I feel like that, you know, his story just can really just motivate people to just keep on believing in their dreams and not giving up just because of one failure. Let's see. So again, that's how that inspires me. As far as my own career, it just, you know, I feel like it gives me the drive to keep on going after what I am passionate about and what, you know, I want to do with my life, and not to give up just because I fail or just because something doesn't work out. Let's see. What does this person's experience show society regarding other individuals? I feel like I just answered that, but again, just in case if I didn't, it just shows people not to give up. I mean, I know it sounds very cliche and it's something that you hear all the time, but truly, you know, don't give up on your dream. And, you know, if faith plays a part, you know, in your decision on what you want to do in life, you know, don't give up the faith. And truly just, you know, if this is a desire that you have in your heart, whether you put it there or you believe God put it there, to keep on going after of it. And one interview that I saw that he talked about, he said that sometimes your dreams have to dream. He said sometimes you get to a point to where you've done all you can, and you know, you put so much faith into this, and you did all you know, eventually your dreams are going to have to be, you know, they have to believe in themselves, and just to trust the process, and to, you know, trust the timing with things, and trust the season that you're in, because things do work out. What specific cultural issues should a career counselor consider when working with this person? I read here in the book about the importance of the therapeutic relationship and the shared worldview between the counselor and the client. I feel like if I was a counselor and Tyler Perry was my client in his early stages life, where he was, you know, growing up in poverty, or he was experiencing and trying to deal with all this trauma, that first and foremost, I need to see his worldview, see where he's coming from, see that, you know, he's challenged financially, he's challenged, you know, being a black man, he's challenged, you know, not having a high school diploma, yet alone a college degree, and just find common grounds with him and say, okay, this doesn't discount you or exclude you from your dreams coming true. You don't have to, just because you didn't come from a well-painted background doesn't mean that you can't achieve success. We can figure out what it is that, you know, you're successful in, what it is that you enjoy, what it is you want to pursue. And I need to understand and be empathetic to him and understand his struggles and where he comes from, and help him to find his passion. And I feel like as a counselor, that would be my starting point with him. It's just understanding his past, understanding his hurt, understanding his failures, and then giving him hope, you know, and so showing him that his life isn't over, that he can be successful, he can be, you know, a professional in whatever it is he wants to pursue, and we can find a good fit for him. And I feel like that's what I need to consider if I was his counselor, trying to help him find his way professionally. So those are the questions. There's so much about his story that I feel like I didn't even give like a lot of detail to. I don't know. It's just so much about him that I'm very inspired by him. And you know, if you have some time, really research him and read his biography, but definitely listen to his videos, because his videos are very, very, very inspiring. All right. Thank you.